Chapter 15. Our Rich Heritage. Monuments are a part of a country's heritage. They tell us about the period in which they were built. The paintings and the carvings in these monuments give us information about the people who lived in that particular period, their social, political, and cultural life, their religious beliefs, and their occupations. They also give information on the ornaments and dresses worn in those days and the kind of houses the people lived in. Forts, palaces, temples, buried cities, pillars, and stupas are some of the examples of heritage. A monument gives a lot of information to historians. We learn about the person who built it, the materials used, the style of architecture, and the purpose of the building. Let us learn more about some famous Indian monuments. Taj Mahal. The most famous monument in India is the Taj Mahal in Agra. Emperor Shah Jahan built it nearly 350 years ago. He built the beautiful monument in the memory of his wife. It took 22 years and 20,000 men to complete it. It is made of pure white marble and precious stones. There are 43 types of gems used in Taj Mahal. Calligraphy is done on the walls. You can get a beautiful view of the Taj Mahal, which is white at midday, a soft pink at sunset, and silvery white by moonlight. It remains one of the most popular monuments in the world. Taj Mahal. The Red Fort. The Red Fort, built by Emperor Shah Jahan, enclosed a palace, a bazaar, living quarters, gardens, and many important buildings of the officials. Inside it are the Diwan-e-Am, the Diwan-e-Khas, the Moti Masjid. It was built of red sandstone, hence the name Red Fort. Red Fort. The Prime Minister of India addresses the nation from the Red Fort on Independence Day. He unfurls the national flag from the Red Fort. The sound and light show at the Red Fort gives us a glimpse into Indian history, ending with the freedom movement. Qutub Minar. One of the oldest sites in Delhi is the Qutub Minar, built more than 850 years ago. It is 72 meters high. It is beautifully inscribed with verses from the Quran. The iron pillar at the Qutub Minar is a marvel, as it has not rusted in the last 8 centuries, even in extreme climatic conditions. Qutub Minar. Gol Gumbaz. The Gol Gumbaz at Bijapur, Karnataka is the second largest dome in the world. Completed in 1656, the dome measures 44 meters in diameter and stands without any pillar. The inside of the dome is circled by a gallery where one can experience extraordinary sound effects. The lighting of a matchstick, the rusting of paper, even a whisper at one end is magnified and heard very clearly at the opposite end. That is why it is called the Whispering Gallery of the Gol Gumbaz. Gol Gumbaz. Meenakshi Temple. This is a temple dedicated to Parvati and Sundareshwara or Shiva. It has 2 main shrines, one for Meenakshi and other for Shiva. The entire complex is enclosed with high walls having huge gateways or gopurams in the middle on each side. These gopurams depict the scenes of gods and goddesses. The Meenakshi temple is a masterpiece of architecture. The beautiful carvings on the walls show great technical skills. Meenakshi Temple. The Charminar. Hyderabad has the famous Charminar, around which the old city was built. It is a massive square gateway. It has 4 minars, each 55 meters high. It was built to celebrate the eradication of plague epidemic from the city. The Charminar. Stupas and caves. During Ashoka's reign, 84,000 vihars and stupas were built. This shows the great height to which art had reached during the reign of the Mauryas. The cave temples at Ajanta and Ellora belong to the Gupta period. The wall of the caves are covered with paintings called murals. They depict themes from the life of Buddha. One of the most amazing caves is the Kailash temple at Ellora. It is carved out of a single rock. It includes the main shrine, the entrance gate, a smaller shrine, and a hall surrounded by pillars. The Rashtrakuta rulers built these structures. It took them 100 years to complete them. The cave temples at Ajanta Cave. Victoria Memorial. The Victoria Memorial in Kolkata is a massive and beautiful building made of pure white marble. Landscaped gardens and lawns surround the memorial. As the name suggests, it was built by the British to honor Queen Victoria. It is a popular tourist attraction. What we can learn from historical monuments. Monuments give us an idea about the past. They not only tell us about the power and vision of the people who got them built, but also about the skill of the craftsmen and artisans, that is the people who actually built the monuments. The material used to build a monument was sometimes brought from faraway places. This was not a very easy task as transportation was not very well developed during those days. These historical places also give glimpses of how kings and queens lived in their huge and luxurious palaces. When we visit sites like the Red Fort in Delhi, we wonder at the beauty of the surrounding and imagine how wonderful they must have been so many years ago. Divanayam at Red Fort. How are monuments preserved? The Archaeological Survey of India preserves heritage buildings and important monuments. Visitors to the site have to buy entry tickets and the revenue collected is used to restore and preserve the places. Special techniques are used to ensure that the monuments do not lose their original glory. Polluting industries and constructions that may damage a monument are not allowed to come up. The Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage, INTACH, was set up to create awareness and help preserve our heritage. It works in close association with schools to acquaint students with the history and culture associated with old monuments. As children, you must stop people from defacing the walls and littering the compound of our beautiful monuments. The use of stones like marble, sandstone, etc. make us wonder how these stones were obtained and how they were transported over long distances. When we compare them with modern buildings, we can see a lot of difference. Care of historical monuments. The history that we read today of the lifelong survey research and care of scholars is our culture and heritage. It is our duty to protect and preserve the rich heritage that we have received. It is a duty of every Indian to take care of our monuments. We should not write on the walls or break any part of a monument. We should not pollute the area near a monument in any way. The money that we pay as entrance fee is used for the maintenance of the site. Hence, it is our duty to pay it. While we are in a monument or in a museum, we should not touch the walls or other things, as water and moisture from our fingers may affect them. The government has a special department called the Archaeological Survey of India, or ASI. It surveys the condition of monuments and declares buildings as heritage buildings if they have historical value. Such buildings are cared by the ASI and cannot be treated as private property. Damaging a historical monument is punishable by law. Value voice. It is the duty of each and every citizen not to harm our national heritage. Key words. Heritage. Relating to thing of special architectural, historical, or natural value that are preserved for the nation. Architecture. The art of designing and constructing buildings. Inscription. Writing which has been carved into the surface of monument. Dome. a round structure forming the roof of a building. Archaeologists, persons who study the history and culture of ancient societies by examining the remains of their buildings, tombs, tools, and the other objects. Calligraphy, the art of producing beautiful handwriting using a brush or a special pen. Let's remember, a building which is considered by the government to have historic, cultural, or architectural value is called a heritage. Old buildings have historical importance and are of a part of our heritage. Forts, palaces, temples, houses, buried cities, pillars and stupas are examples of monuments. It is the duty of every citizen in the country to take care of monuments. The government has a special department called the Archaeological Survey of India. The ASI maintains, repairs, and is responsible for the upkeep of the monuments. Damaging a historical monument is punishable by law.